Hello. I'm going to talk about using my tennis group scheduler program, version 5. And we use this program to generate league season court time for a varying number of players and courts, etc. We can use it for a very simple one court, 6-person uh, sharing of the court, or in this case, I'm going to show you an example using 3 courts and 30 odd players. So let's get started. There's an input page. It's based on an Excel spreadsheet, and there's a program behind the spreadsheet running Visual Basic macros and the like to generate schedules and things. So there's an input page, and there's a players page, and there's a schedule page, and the active player page. So let's begin with the input page, and we're going to enter the event with a league name. It's Farmington Valley Racket Club 2010 through 2011 season, Wednesday night, 6 p.m. Tennis League, 3 courts. We're going to have 35 nights. We're going to use 3 courts, and it's not going to be mixed doubles, and we're not going to enforce same sex. So fundamentally, you can have a group of guys and girls play, and this will not care about making sure that there's mixed doubles. And anyway, that's a little more advanced than we want to get into with this tutorial. We support Microsoft version Excel version 2007 and 2003. We're using 2007, so I put that in there. And here's where we enter the court time, the total court season costs. So in this case, each court is $2,362.50. We're multiplying times 3, which comes up with a total court cost of $7,087.50. Now that's important because as we schedule the different players and their shares across the season, this program will keep track of everyone's cost. So you can pretty much send a copy of this to the club, and they will bill the players accordingly. Okay, so let's go to the players page, and we're going to get some players. Now we can enter some players manually with their name and their home phone number, cell phone, email, etc. In this case, I'm going to import them from a text file. Oh, we need to enable macros for this because the program runs on macros. So we're going to import players. It's going to give us what we're going to do. We're going to delete the ones we have. It gives you the format of the file. And we find the file, the tennis players.txt. And just so you know what that looks like, just give you a quick, it's a tab delimited file with the fields needed here. It's just going to automatically populate for us. So we're going to select that, and it's telling us we imported 41 players. Okay, of those 41 players, this column here determines who is playing for the season and who are subs. So 1 in this column indicates playing and 0 subs. So in this case we have 38 players and 3 subs. Okay, so we have all their information, and now here's where we enter their shares. So say someone wants a 50% share, 75% share, 100% share, and we're very flexible. Any percentage the calculations will be done for you as far as their costs and the number of nights they play. Now this area here is where you enter the dates of play. Okay, so in this case, these are in here. We can either enter these manually. Let's see, 09, 10, 2, 10, 2010. Yeah, I can type. Or we can import from a text file, rounds file. And in this case, the format is very simply 1 line per date. And if we import the rounds this way, we get an added benefit of this 35 rounds. If we go back to the input page, that number is calculated for us by doing that import. If we didn't do that import and we entered it manually, we'd have to make sure that that was correct there. So we go back to the players page and we see all this area down here, and what this is the player availability. So this talks about it up here, but fundamentally you enter a 0 where players tell you they can't make it. So I would enter zeros where players said they couldn't make it, and if you wanted to force a player to play, or you wanted to force the scheduling to play the player on a given night, you would enter a 1. So say you're a team captain and you wanted to play the first night, you would enter a 1 in the nights that you wanted to play. Okay, so I think we're just about ready to generate a quick schedule. So we go back to the input page, and there's a button here called Create New Schedule. And that's how we begin once all the inputs are done. So we create schedule, gives us a warning, it goes through, program goes through all kinds of calculations, and generates a schedule on the schedule page, schedule sheet. And we can put different players in this shaded area to give us an idea of the distributions of those players. Okay, so down, so we have a court 1 supplies balls, and the players, four players in that court. Court 2 supplies balls, and court 3 supplies balls. So, and here's all the players that are off. So below here we have a list of the players, their numbers, their contact information, the share that they've taken, the target plays, the program calculate what they should end up playing, and the actual plays, which is the schedule's output, and the cost for each player is given. Also, it figures out balls, who should bring balls given nights, and that will tell you supplies balls in the first column here. All right, so if we're happy with the schedule, we can export it and move on. Or if you wanted to make manual adjustments, what you would do is you would take these entries, and you could take people from the off column and put them in the on column, just for grins here. And you would hit this button, which would update the tally and the schedule for everybody. So although it's automatic, you have complete control over all scheduling. You can manipulate the schedule in many different ways. So let's say we're happy with the schedule. We want to export the schedule in 2 different ways to distribute to the players. Want to export it basic schedule with all of this data. Just use the defaults here. And we exported that. So we're just going to clean that up a little bit by putting some formatting, basic formatting in there. Assuming most people know how to use Excel. But let's just go through this quick. Let's put some grids there just to give you an idea. And we'll just save this for now. And this is just telling you, this is saving it at the older version of Excel, so this is compatible. You're going to lose some formatting and compatibility, but this way is compatible with the most number of people that have Excel. What did I do? Okay, sorry. Okay. Made a mistake. So let's try that again. I selected the wrong thing. Format this. Select it. Grid view it up. Let's try that again. Save. And we want to hit continue, not copy to new sheet. And you can actually Just uncheck that so you won't get that nasty message anymore. Alright, so that export is saved. Let's close that file. And now export the program in a different way, which is a little bit more reader friendly and printer friendly. It's called export a transpose schedule, and what we want to do is we can have a couple options here: include the ball assignment and include the court assignment, or in this case we're not going to include the court assignment, just the ball assignment, and let the people that are on those 3 courts on those given nights just work out their own kind of matches. So let's just export that, take the default. It's going to list the players down one column, the dates across the top, and put X's and B's for bringing balls in on the given nights. So the program, while I wait here, it's a little slow because it's recording this desktop at the same time that the program is running. So the key thing to take away is we're saving tons of time, because to do this manually would just take tons of hours, tons of time. Again, we could do this for simple one court season, or we can do it up to 8 courts, unlimited number of players, and their shares, etc. Okay, this should be just about done thinking. Okay, now it's listing the players. So you never want to distribute the program, just these 2 exported files, which contain just data, no program data behind the sheet. Okay, it's telling me that's done. I want to go back to the schedule, clean it up a bit, just bring that in, open this up a bit. And put a grid view around the whole thing. And let's do some page layout stuff. Again, assuming most people are familiar with Excel, but let's just go through it here. We're going to select this whole area. We're going to do page layout. We're going to do print area, set the print area. We're going to do orientation. We're going to go landscape. We're going to go margins. We're going to go narrow. We're going to go width, 1 page, height, 1 page, and let's save it. Okay, we'll do a print preview. See how it's going to look. Now here we have a single page where the people that are playing have X's or a B, which means bring balls at night. So here's your first night. So you have your on and off, and it goes across the board with your 38 players. Okay, we'll close that. Close that. Last thing I want to show you is the active player page has a list of all of the players, their phone numbers, their emails. So I want to send an email to all the players. I click the send the email button, and it starts up Outlook or whatever email client you have configured, puts everyone's email address in a blind copy, and I'm going to attach the 2 files that I just made, the summary and the schedule. There's the exported files, not the XLSM. That's the program. You never want to distribute that. And these 2 files, if you remember, are my data files. I can import and export those files accordingly through the program. Okay, so I'm all set to send this email with a note.